name is Ariana and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you guys can tell from the title, today's video is going to be all about the porosity test. Before we get started, please feel free to give this video a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you are new, and turn on that notification bell so you guys will get alerts whenever I upload. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. For those of y'all that don't know, I have been natural for about 10 years now. I know, very long time. And through my ups and downs of being natural, I decided to try out these different tests and different methods and all these things that everybody's always talking about, but nobody ever really wants to do the experiment, so that's what I'm here for. Aww. I uploaded a porosity test video on this channel about 2 years ago, but that one is kind of old and outdated, so I wanted to do a new one for you guys, and I also wanted to document this one better, and I'm going to include snippets from this video, screenshots that is, and I'm going to be including this footage in my natural hair book that I'm writing for you guys as well, so stay tuned for that. Alright, let's get into it. As you guys can see, I have one page from my ebook right here, and this one is on the porosity test, and I wanted to read the definition that I wrote in here so it's like not screwed up. In short, hair porosity is your hair's ability to absorb moisture. Hair porosity has 3 categories: low porosity, medium porosity, and high porosity. Low porosity means that the cuticles of the hair are close together. Don't worry if you don't know what cuticles are, I'm going to be reading that after I finish this. Medium porosity means the cuticles of the hair are a bit further apart, so there's a little bit more spacing. High porosity means the cuticles of the hair are widely spaced. So now down here we're discussing the 3 layers of the hair. So like you can take one strand of your hair and there are 3 layers within that. Layer 1 is the innermost layer, and it's called the medulla, and it's the softest layer of the hair shaft, which acts as the marrow of the hair. The medium layer is called the cortex. This is the thickest layer of hair, and this is where hair's pigment comes into play. Hair pigment is also melanin, so I thought that was kind of cool. This layer is what gives hair its color. And the outermost layer is the one that we're going to be talking about today because that ties directly into porosity. Layer 3 is the cuticle, and it is the outermost layer. This layer is made up of dead cells and acts as the shield to protect the hair shaft. So, we're done reading now, thank God. Just some things I want to note before I jump right into the test. If you have type 4 natural hair, maybe 3C, I can throw y'all in there too. So basically, if your hair is kind of like mine, we're normally a part of the low porosity category, I guess you can say. Whenever you have hair like this, the cuticle is very close together, so there's not really a lot of room for holes. So I want you guys to picture this in your head. Just imagine if you're looking at the roof of a house and there's like shingles, I think that's what they're called, the little shingles on the roof, and it's almost like they're overlapping. Or you can also think of scales, either or. So basically that is what the cuticle of most people's hair kind of sort of looks like. So if you have a bunch of scales like layered on top of each other, there's not a whole lot of room for water or anything to really pass through this layer. So it's really good for protection, but on the flip side, it's hard for that thing to absorb moisture or to allow anything to pass through that layer. Follow me? So basically that's why when you have natural hair, if you are in the 4 category, a lot of times it's hard for you to moisturize your hair, and it'll kind of feel like your product is just sitting on top. Don't judge me, y'all. I had to save some hair for this video. So I have some hair that I saved from my last detangling. So with the test, what you're gonna need is a glass of water. I would prefer to have one that's like smooth so you can see through it, so it's not like distorting the water or the hair or anything. And the rule is that if you put your hair in, let it sit for about 10-20 seconds or so, and your hair remains on the top, that means that you have low porosity. If it sinks to about halfway, then you have medium porosity. And then if it sinks all the way to the bottom, then that means that you have high porosity. So I have my piece of hair, I have my water, and I also put a white binder behind it because if not, you guys won't be able to see, I don't think, because my hair is kind of dark and so is my background. So what you want to do, you want to take your hair and you just want to drop it and let it sit and kind of wait about 10 seconds or so to see where your hair goes. One thing that I do want to note with this test is that eventually I believe everybody's hair will sink to the bottom once it's all the way submerged, but you just kind of have to wait and see. So as y'all can tell, my hair is in between the top and the middle, so I'm somewhere in between low and medium porosity, but I've noticed with trial and error doing my hair that my hair works better with heavier creams and whenever I do the steaming treatments to open my hair up so it will accept the moisture. So I personally classify myself as low porosity, but I can still get away with using some medium porosity products. If your hair sunk to the middle, then that means that you have medium porosity, which is kind of sort of the best of both worlds because you don't have to put a whole bunch of heavy cream products on your hair to get your hair to be moisturized, and that in turn will help you have healthier hair, and you don't have to do a lot to your hair to help it retain moisture. If your hair immediately sunk to the bottom, then that most likely means that your hair is either damaged or you just naturally have high porosity. you've done some sort of processing to your hair to make your pores become wide open. If you have low porosity hair, what I would recommend for you is that you focus on using heavier creams to get your hair moisturized, or you can also try to use like a steamer or some sort of steaming treatment to open your cuticles to make your hair actually want to accept the moisturizer that you're putting on. So what I personally do is whenever I'm trying to moisturize my hair, I will go for the thicker and heavier creams because those give me the best result. Also, if I'm trying to do some sort of deep conditioning treatment, once I have the deep conditioner all over my hair, I will put my hair up in a ponytail. Once it's in a ponytail, then I will put a Walmart bag over my head and I will tie it because the plastic holds the heat in. And then two options, you can either sit under a hooded dryer. I don't do that all the time because I'm kind of lazy. Or two, I will just leave it on my head for 6 hours. Whenever I'm busy, I'll just have it up and out of the way. And that normally gives me a really good deep conditioning treatment, and it helps my hair have moisture throughout the week. Also, I would recommend that you have some sort of staple deep conditioning schedule. So for example, I deep condition my hair 1 to 2 times a week whenever it's out like this. I would do it midweek, so probably a Wednesday, and then on Sundays. If I skip Wednesday, I absolutely do it on Sundays. If you have medium porosity hair, what I would recommend for you is to stick to more of the hair milk, those type of products. Some of the ones that are more, I don't want to say watery, but not as thick as the heavy cream. After you apply your leave-in conditioner, I would recommend that you seal your hair with some sort of oil. That way your hair will retain the moisture. I recommend that for low porosity too, but I would more so recommend it for medium porosity because your hair absorbs moisture, but it could potentially end up losing moisture throughout the day. It just depends on your individual hair, but an oil is a sealant, so it will help your hair retain moisture. If you have high porosity hair, baby, we're going to pray. Like I said, high porosity hair is hair that has been excessively processed. So whether you've bleached your hair 1 or 2 times because you're trying to get that perfect color, whether you straighten your hair all the time or you get relaxers or texturizers, anything processed that strips your hair from its natural state is going to open up the pores. And if you've damaged your hair to the point of no return, I would honestly highly suggest that you just cut it off. But if you want to keep your hair, then I would recommend for you that you need to deep condition your hair at least 3 times a week. I know that's a lot, but your hair is already damaged, so we're trying to get it back to health. And also stay away from heat products. So if you have natural hair and you have high porosity, I would recommend that you figure out how to stretch your hair without using a blow dryer and try to stay away from the hot tools. So whether you want to wear braids, you can keep your hair cornrowed underneath, and you can wear wigs, and you can damage the wigs. Go ahead. It's not your real hair. If you do want to go the wig route, I have a website, Ariannalyf.com, where I sell wigs, bundles, frontals, closures, you name it, I got it. Link in the description box. So yeah, that's basically the hair porosity test, what porosity is. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I tried to be as concise as I could be, but I know that I can't answer all the questions that you guys may have, and that's why, again, I'm writing a book so I can put all the information in there without dragging out the video. So, thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.